Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 12, Say Yes, Hidden Clues. Warnings will contain predictions, spoilers, and hidden clues. They range from visual Easter eggs to subtle verbal hints. This has become a very popular segment, and as always, your thoughts, your comments, your participation is greatly appreciated. So let's start out with some of the mood clues. We know that weather can be a big part of The Walking Dead. We pretty much start the episode out, it's break of day, the sun is shining through, so there's a lot of positive vibe there. We move forward and we see Rick and Michonne. Rick's reading the morning paper or a map and drinking some hot coffee. Michonne says to him, "Are we going to win today?" And of course they do. They start looting and they have a lot of success. But later on in the episode, after they have the chili mac and cheese, the full moon comes out. We saw the walkers in the background, and it's a complete mood shift. Nothing good happens at a full moon. So the very next day, what happens? Walkers surround the group and they have a brush with death. And we also know Michonne dropped the weapon. And look in the background. Hot coffee. Remember, Rick was drinking the hot coffee? A little bit of a play on words there. So moving forward, let's talk about some of the other things that really went down this episode. Wounds heal, but scars remain the same. Thank you, Eminem, for that quote. So a couple weeks ago, we saw Rick with a hole through the hand, so he definitely had the wound. Some people had even suggested that Rick may lose his hand. A couple weeks later, it's almost healed, so no problems there. Remember the wound that Rosita suffered at the hands of a rot, the knife across the face? Well, here we go again. This episode looks like that wound is healing quite nicely. In fact, Tara even gave her some ointment to help get rid of the scar, but we know that the scars with Rosita and Rick are not external, they're internal. Rick's internal scar is not being able to save Glenn. He mentioned that Glenn was there for him, but he wasn't able to do anything. Rosita as well. Rosita says to Father Gabriel, if I had killed Negan, Eugene would still be here, Olivia'd still be alive, Spencer would still be alive as well. So Rosita and Rick are both carrying that guilt around. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Let's shift forward and talk about how ironic some of these things are that happened in this week's episode. So first and foremost, the Savior's playing golf. They're certainly underestimating Rick. And what's more, we thought Fat Joe was popular, but one of the Saviors to be ever heard saying, I don't even want to hear his name mentioned again. Rick and Michonne are out doing some looting. They open a drawer. A lot of items of use here. Got some tape, got some screws, a few other items, but notice the cash. Fast forward to the carnival scene, cash only. Just goes to show in a zombie apocalypse, cash is absolutely worthless. It's all about the looting in these situations. Move forward, Rick and Michonne having the conversation where Rick actually says, I have not been able to sleep. That was toward the end. But ironically enough, when Rick is with Michonne when they're driving, he is able to sleep. So he has that peaceful, easy feeling. I guess she kind of gives him that comfort zone. Two paths, Rick and Michonne versus Rosita. These storylines were juxtaposed very, very well in this episode. So we see Rick and Michonne, the ideal partnership. They're doing everything together. They fight the walkers together. They're having a little bit of fun. Whereas Rosita, she goes at it solo, cuts the throat of the walker woman in the mobile home. Rick and Michonne, even before they stumble upon the big loot, they actually find a couple weapons. Rosita finds a toy gun. So total opposites here. And let us not forget, when Rick and Michonne are looting, they loot everything to take it back to the people of Alexandria. Rosita kills the walker, finds a toy gun, and doesn't even walk in to see if there's anything else available. She turns around and walks away. We've heard on multiple occasions that showrunner Scott Gimple likes to tell a story within a story, and this could have happened at least a couple times in the previous episode. Remember when Rick and Michonne were out looting? They open up the cabinets and everything's perfectly organized. They go over to the clothes, everything's perfectly folded. Makes you wonder what happened in here. Perhaps there wasn't a sense of panic. And then fast forward to the other part where they were at the carnival and they see the military personnel. Michonne looks down at the fallen officer. Rick picks up the bullets, starts smelling the bullets, and they say, something bad might have happened here. Leave your thoughts and comments. It'll probably never be revealed, but could one of these soldiers went crazy, executed everybody? I'd be interested to see what you guys think might have went down here, and maybe Scott Gimple will open up about it. So a bigger partnership happened. This happened a couple times as well, too. Once again, we'll juxtapose Rick and Michonne versus Rosita. So Rick has a good relationship with Judith. They've got that negotiating going on where they're going back and forth. 10 weapons, 20 weapons, but we find out how good of a leader Judith actually is. She says, not enough. Us nearly twice, need nearly twice. That means there's over 100 scavengers they have. That means Rick has a lot of people at his disposal. No wonder he's working so hard to try to get the weapons. And of course, he did force Jadis to say yes. The other partnership, we've been waiting for this for a long time. It's a little bit more complicated. Rosita finally goes up to visit Sasha. She's not there to pay her respects. Now, before you just rush right in and say Rosita is leading Sasha like a lamb to the slaughter, keep in mind, Sasha's been waiting for this moment. Jesus even made her a map, and what better way to become friends than for Rosita to take probably the best weapon and give it to Sasha. She did not bring the dynamite, however, she did agree to let Sasha take the killing shot that's going to be big by episode number 16. There was some innocence lost in this episode, so one thing that really stood out to me is when the walker was walking through the carnival, we see the teddy bear on the ground, he just kicks it along through 3 or 4 steps. There is no innocence at this point, and also fast forward to Tara talking to Judith. She gives her the bracelet, but she's having an adult conversation with Judith where she actually used several profanities in her conversation. She needs someone to relate to. And the innocence, of course, the irony here as well is Michonne is trying to kill the deer, and it's the very same deer that possibly saves Rick and Michonne's life. Oh dear. Here are a few things that you may have not have caught on to during last week's episode. So Rick and Michonne showing a test of strength by pushing over the item that actually is used to test your strength. Hopefully you guys caught that. Actually fell down the picnic table and blocked the walkers, buying them a little bit more time. How about Dwight? Dwight took the pretzels and the beer to meet with Sherry. It never transpired the way he wanted it to. However, in this week's episode, Rick and Michonne actually had the pretzels, and a little bit later on, they actually had the beer. So better luck next time, Dwight. And this week's Captain Obvious Award goes to scene number 1 when Rick said we need batteries. They're up on a Savior, and it's actually taped there. It says batteries. Rick will be able to listen in. He can go out a little bit further and spend some more quality time with Michonne. And what are RTEs? Looks like AMC actually changed the label on this. I was not able to find this anywhere. They're actually called MREs. Maybe it's copyright infringement, but this is what the actual item looks like. Ironically enough, it looks almost exactly the same, but they changed the name. So what are the odds when falling through a roof of landing on a mattress? You can't find that information anywhere. However, you can find out the median height leading to death is about 49 feet. One thing that was really interesting about this episode is Rick actually fell twice. The first time was probably 10 feet onto a mattress. The second time, maybe 15 feet. When Rick did fall, something that was really, really cool, Rick, instead of getting up and running away from the walkers, actually goes forward toward the walkers and tries to pick up his weapon, can't leave his weapon behind. In contrast, when Michonne thinks that Rick is dead, she actually throws her weapon down and leaves it behind. Remember the scene before where Michonne was actually leaning over, looting the walker? Toward the end of that episode, she actually kneels down and pays her respect to one of the falling soldiers. I thought that was a really, really nice gesture. So now to the scene where Rick goes through the sunroof of the car and gets onto the top of it. The length of the average human arm is 25 inches. An average large sedan is 6¼ feet wide. If these walkers are reaching from both sides, only gives Rick, I guess, about 1.5 feet in order to navigate, not very much room. So I don't think these walkers were trying. By the way, Geico can save you 15% on your insurance. You guys know exactly where I'm going with that. Here's a few items that were shown that possibly could be utilized if they go back. Look, there's propane in the background and also some rebar. They loaded up the food, but these could possibly be used to manufacture some weapons. And when Rick was in the car, I swear he said, Michonne. You guys have watched me for a long time, know exactly what that's about. And don't forget Rosita, her abysm. She said to Father Gabriel, you don't know shit about shit. So a little bit of a flashback. Hashtag RIP Abraham Ford. And the church scene was very, very symbolic of some things that are going to happen in the future, specifically a deadly future. Father Gabriel says to Rosita, anything is possible until your heart stops beating. So let's take that information and fast forward to the scene between Sasha and Rosita where Sasha says, they can't catch us alive. Alive is the key word. And Rosita says, it's a one-way ticket for both of us. So who has the means to make sure that they're not captured alive? Well, that would be Eugene. Remember, Eugene made the 2 capsules, possibly made more for Tanya and also for Frankie to give to Negan. We don't know what the ultimate purpose. Maybe Eugene didn't trust the 2 of them. Evidently, Sasha is going to barge in episode number 16. She's going to try to save Eugene. Perhaps she gets the pills, she gets captured, and takes those pills. She's not going to be taken alive. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I know this is a little bit longer than usual, but there's a lot of hidden clues, a lot of dialogue, a lot of speculation. Appreciate everything that you guys do. If you guys could give this video a thumbs up and leave your comments below. Look for more videos soon. My name's Killshot. Peace.